So we are waiting on X. And okay, here we go. All right. Here we go in five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome On Podcast. I'm your host, Famously Guarded. And I'm joined by my co-host Q.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we're discussing about what's going on with this program right now. It's a tough situation to be in. As South Carolina now sits on the season as 3-4. Is the sky falling in Columbia? You know, a lot of people are starting to ask that. A lot of people are starting to ask if that's the case, right? And
Yeah.
in the national media world, you would have thought Shane Beamer was on the way out of Columbia this week. And I'm here to tell you that's not quite the case. Not the case at all. So, Q, let's get into it. Obviously, South Carolina drops one against Oklahoma. We don't need to get into that game and how it went. It was ugly all the way around. You lost a Dylan Stewart early in that game to a hip injury, which, as far as we all know, he practiced today and will be back against Alabama on Saturday at
Mm-hmm.
3:30 p.m. South Carolina continues to fight with that injury bug. Casey Henry officially announced out for the season. He's out for the season again, and it's been a tough go for Casey Henry. It's been one of your better offensive linemen. He just cannot stay healthy, so that is absolutely unfortunate to lose Casey Henry for the season. Shed Surratt, Marquis Anderson, those guys there are going to play as of now on Saturday, and Nolan Hay apparently also
Mm-hmm.
practiced well today, so he will be back with the Gamecocks on Saturday at this moment. So we'll see as this week progresses, right? South Carolina, after this game, Shane Beamer was testy with the media a little bit. Shout out to my boy Jack Felchey for asking the hard questions that a lot of the media won't ask, and I don't understand why. I don't know if they're filtered. I don't know what it comes down to. But I want to shout out at my guy Jack Felcher. We talked about
For
after that,
sure.
after
For
what went
sure.
down. Jack asked,
For
"Hey,
sure.
what is going to change here? Are there going to be changes?" And then Shane, ultimately gave his answer. And I understand, Q. We've seen it with media, right? We've seen it with coaches after games like that. You could be testy. I get it. Do I think Shane did that on purpose? No. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think Shane's just caught up in a moment at that time. However, however, it wasn't necessary to act like that, right?
It was
Um,
uncalled for, bro. I'm not gonna.
yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and,
completely.
and sugarcoat any of that. That was an uncalled for situation. I was not happy about that situation. And it had nothing to do with the media thing. Like you went after you know what you saw and what everybody else is seeing. To me, it was a slap in the face of everybody because we see the product that's on the field. You have people paying hard earned money and they see the product on the field. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm more like, how can you get mad at us on a situation like that when in all actuality it ain't got nothing to do with us? This is everything to do with what you see on the field. There's a lot of opportunities left open on that field. Let me be very clear. It's not all on the offensive line. There were snippets that have been going around showing people open on a drag route, people open right in the middle. I remember one play, Mazio Bennett was wide open, and you throw over Mazio Bennett to a covered Brady Hunt, which makes absolutely no sense because Mazio gets the first down and more if you just literally give him the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Changing the play at the line into something that benefits the defense. Like there's just too much going on, and
Sure.
I mean I'm not going to sit here and argue who's to blame anymore. I'm tired of placing blame. At this point it gets old. If you feel like one person is exempt from blame on this situation, you're the problem. That's
Yeah.
just me being honest. That's me being real about the situation.
Well, Q. I
So
mean,
that's
we
where I'm at with it right now.
well, and we look at it as it's a team sport, Q. At the end of the day, this is a team sport. And if back in the days of 2011, 2012, if somebody screwed up on an assignment, they're owning that, right? They're owning, yeah, I screwed up on that assignment. And fans were able to call out the players back then. They didn't have no issue. I mean, there were many times, obviously, Stephen Garcia or Connor Shaw. I mean, they made their mistakes. They made plenty of mistakes their time at Carolina. Don't get me wrong. Nobody was exempted from that. Nobody. I've yet
Mm-hmm.
to see a player yet that has ever played football in South Carolina that could exempt themselves from making a mistake. And that includes guys like Jadeveon Clowney and Marcus Lattimore. Nobody's perfect, right? Nobody's
Correct.
perfect. I do want to shout out the offensive line for not having a pre-snap penalty, though, in this game.
There's no penalties for them, and that was huge.
Oklahoma is a defense that will make you make those mistakes and make those penalties happen.
Correct.
You know, Oklahoma is out there. Brent Venables is very good at his job, probably one of the best defensive – I mean, he was obviously the best defensive coordinator in the country at Clemson, right? And now he's bringing this defense together at Oklahoma.
He's doing a good job of it, too.
He's doing a fantastic job. However, South Carolina –
I thought he was going to struggle with that. I did think he was going to struggle with being a head coach and calling the defense. I thought he would struggle with that. He's done an excellent job.
Yeah.
I do think his offense has suffered some, but they have a good coordinator there, honestly. Huge fan of that coordinator. He just puts guys in place to make plays. So I got to give them a shout out. They were a good team, but that game should have been a lot closer than what it was. And I'm sorry, but at some points it looked like Shane gave up on the game. It looked like Shane completely gave up on that game, and it was hard to watch.
Well, it's just you had momentum
that was hard to watch.
Out. You had some kind of momentum building up after halftime, right? 14-7 at the half. Even though that game probably should not have been that close to that point because of the way you guys been playing, the way you've been leaving the offense out on the field. And what did South Carolina go on? 0 for 10 on third downs, 0 for 11, whatever it was on third downs against Oklahoma? And then people start blaming the defense. Oh, the defense is starting giving these points away. Well, guys, time of possession, right? When do we take that into account? When do we take into account, you know, your star edge rusher is out of the game. He hasn't been playing. You know, and granted, I will say, Q, there are guys that gave little to no effort on defense. Not everybody did. But there are some plays I just had to scratch my head like, what the heck was this?
Those third downs that Oklahoma was converting were just inappropriate. Like, that was just piss poor tackling, piss poor execution, just piss poor. And that's where I had the issue.
Yeah.
So I agree. But as you stated before, we're going to talk about the state of the program. I want to say this. I personally do not like a lot of the writers that talk about South Carolina, aside from Wes, Chris, the guys at Gamecock Central, guys at 247. Outside of that, I really struggle with a lot of those guys because I just feel like there's a lot of clickbait. And a lot of times it is a lot of clickbait. I'm not going to sit here and lie like it isn't. It's a lot of clickbait.
Absolutely.
But I have to be real. If you feel like there has not been any talk between Virginia Tech and representation of Shane Beamer in any way, shape, form, or fashion, I mean, you're just being oblivious to the situation.
Sure.
That's me being honest with you. That's me being honest. I think at this point, the damage is done with that. Damage is done. Now I want to see who focuses in and who makes this, who writes the ship. He's yelling that he wants to write the ship, and that's what's been said behind the scenes, but I'm going to be honest. So let's talk about behind the scenes. There's been a lack of accountability behind the scenes this season. Accountability has not been a thing that has been emphasized this season. It's shown on the field and talking with people. It is shown behind the scenes too. Guys are getting blamed and other guys are not. People are making mistakes and not having to take the fall for whatever mistakes. I have a problem with that. I have a big issue with that, and that needs to be righted. The better players are not playing. You can forget the whole practice thing. You can emphasize practice all you want to. Practice is not translating into games. There are guys who are balling out in games that are having to sit there and not be starters because of quote unquote practice. That mentality, practice is important. But practice is important for installation situations. Practice is important for developing habits. Practice does not mean that you're going to translate over into when those lights are brightest.
Oh, I mean, Q, Spurrier years, there are multiple guys that I can name right off the rip that performed in practice all day, every day of the week. Well, I mean, past that point, though. But guys like KJ Brent, guys like Shamir Jeffrey, which Shamir Jeffrey is supposed to be the next best athlete to ever come through South Carolina, by the way, if we're
You're right
here. There are other guys, too, that are drawing a blank right now, but they were practice extraordinaires. You're on the proving grounds watching these guys play. Jarvis Giles, that's another one, right? Oh, Jarvis Giles.
Oh, yeah. Jarvis was supposed to be that next good back right behind there, be able to spell you, and you're not missing a beat. It's all about when the lights are brightest, man.
Absolutely.
Alshon wasn't a good – I'll tell y'all people that were not good practice people. Alshon Jeffrey did not practice well. But, man, when the lights were brightest, what did Alshon do?
Oh, for sure.
Jadeveon Clowney didn't even want to practice. You could tell he never wanted to practice. And what happened when the lights were on?
You
couldn't stop him.
His freshman season, I'll never forget it. I remember
Victor Hampton, and that's another one. Victor Hampton was terrible at practice. And you could not stop him on a third. If you threw the ball his way, it was going to be fourth down. It was guaranteed to be fourth down. You got to let that stuff go, man. At this point, you got to want to play your best players. I need to see more Jaleel Solomon. I need to see more of him. I shouldn't be asking. I should be. Jaden Sellers is one of the best route runners on this team. It's a daggum shame this is the first time y'all seen it.
Well, like I said, with Jaden, though, I mean, there were things going on with a hamstring, I believe was what was said. So, or what I heard. So, do with that information what you will. I mean, that's up to you, of course. But I love what we saw out of Jaden. I did think that was great. I want to say this about with Lenoris and Jaden on this past Saturday. There was a moment where Lenoris was going to the right towards Jaden, where Jaden was covered up, and Nick did get open on the left, obviously for the only touchdown of the game, right? And here's the thing: if Lenoris didn't trust what he needed to on that progression, that probably would have gotten picked off or something else, man. Because I don't think he was going to get that ball to Jaden because the way he was covered up. However, seeing that chemistry though was great. That's obviously something that Lenoris and Jaden talked about in the offseason many times, even before Jaden got to South Carolina, it's conversations that were had. So seeing that, I mean, if you want to talk about a bright side of things, that was good to see. Malik Clark was out there briefly, so that was fun. Cutter Woods, despite throwing that interception, Malik Clark quitting on that. I want to say quit on that route. Maybe there's just some miscommunication.
It was more miscommunication than that one.
But that was a pretty ball that was thrown.
It was a good ball.
It was a good ball.
Cutter looked good. Cutter looked good enough to be in that game against Vandy. But we ain't got to talk about it. Like I said, I just feel like at a certain point, you got to go win games. You got to go win games. You got to put people in there that's going to be ready to win the games. Matthew Fuller just now getting the snaps that he's getting should not have happened. There's just things I'm just not a big fan of. And I feel like this is where the rubber meets the road. What do you guys want at the end of the day? What do you want as a program?
Here's the question, Q. 3-4 on the season. South Carolina faces Alabama this week, and obviously that's a team that I had them on the ropes last year at Alabama. Obviously a little bit of a different personnel that is at South Carolina now, of course. However, it's Mike Shula's homecoming game in a way, right? It is homecoming in general, if I'm not mistaken, right, for South Carolina, Alabama. My question for you, Q, where South Carolina sits right now, if South Carolina comes out stagnant again on offense, they don't show anything, should Shane make the move and go ahead and get rid of Shula?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know how many game samples you need to see that it's not working.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know how many samples of the game you need to see, but what I will say on the situation from my vantage point, from my viewpoint of the situation, if you are serious, and once again, this is me being transparent, if you are serious about winning basketball games, if you are serious about taking this to the next level, you're going to have to show that that's what it is. But I will say this. Changes are coming. Regardless, after the season, changes are coming. I'm going to make a bold prediction now. I don't think we'll stick to pro-style offense next year. I have all but been told pro-style will be gone. That experiment is over. I think Shane understands he's got to keep his job above all. And I would be shocked if Shula is here next year.
Yeah. Yeah, and obviously that falls back on Shane, of course. If you knew what you had coming in personnel-wise, and you stayed to that pro-style offense, you knew that potentially wasn't going to work because of what you had on offense this year on the personnel. And people talk about, well, there are ways to get past that. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, of course, but we didn't do that properly this year, and we haven't done it so far this year at least. And you're midway through the season, and you have 2 wins over Power 4 teams.
And you barely squeaked away from South Carolina State, if I'm being honest.
I mean, you barely squeaked past Virginia Tech. I mean, this game, it wasn't ever really put to bed, honestly, and you only got, 14 points on offense out of that game or 7? It gets to a point where it's just you reach your unreachable. And this path that we're on right now, Shane needs to know that he has to make that move. If he wants to continue to be a head coach, not just at the University of South Carolina, but in the Power 4, you need to make the necessary moves. And these moves are not easy, guys. I mean, you look at all the coaches before him, and he can talk to his dad about these things too, of course. And I'm sure he has. I'm sure that Shane doesn't just sit there in a room by himself and lets things go through his mind and not ever ask for his dad for any kind of assistance or what should I do. And because his dad, at the end of the day, is a legend, in his own right. He did it for as long as he did. I mean, Frank Beamer is a legend.
Correct.
So, in my mind, I know he's asking these things. But Shane needs to understand, Shane Beamer himself needs to understand, and I think he can get it. I'm not saying he's not going to, but he needs to, or he's going to fall down just like Will Muschamp, not being able to bring in the right coordinators and go down that same path that takes you out of head coaching and then you're assistant coach somewhere, which is, if that's the path you want to go, fine. I get it. I understand. Good luck. But if you truly love the University of South Carolina and you truly want to do what's best, you make those hard decisions. You make those things happen behind the scenes, and you get serious because the fans are tired of it. We're all tired of it. The players I know are tired of it. There's some unfortunate things that have come out on social media. We won't get into that. But, guys, I say give Shane time. I mean, Shane's had his time. The honeymoon phase is way over, man.
It's gone.
It's time to make those hard decisions. You already made one getting rid of Lonnie. Lonnie was a hell of a recruiter, one hell of a person. He had a great family. He was a great guy. Not easy getting rid of Lonnie, right?
I still don't understand that one. Not with what I saw. I'm just be real with you. Not in what I saw this past week. It didn't make sense. Procedurally, I get it. We didn't have any false starts or anything like that, but at the same time, we weren't on the road. You also weren't in Death Valley. I just got a lot of questions about that one. That's just me personally.
Now I get that point, and I do think there's a couple factors involved with that, and we'll talk about it at a later time, of course. But looking at with Shula, though, I mean, you have to make the move, Shane.
I agree with that.
If this comes out stagnant again on Saturday, you have to make that move. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You want to be a head coach in the Power 4, minus the Virginia talk and everything else, the Virginia Tech talk and everything else, minus all of that, right? You need to make that move. Get an experienced offensive coordinator that knows how to run this offense the right way. And if Clayton White takes a head coaching job, I'm not saying he's going to after the season, but let's say if he does, you need to make that other decision. You need to bring on somebody right. Or if you don't make that decision, who do you promote? Do you bring Torian Gray? Do you promote him? Who's taking T. Gray's spot? Do you start Lee Lucas? I mean, you need to keep all these things in mind. But it starts at offensive coordinator because, by God, I know Lenore's is missing his routes. He's missing reads. I understand all that. But we are not setting him up for success because of the scheme that we are running at the University of South Carolina.
It's terrible. That scheme's terrible. The scheme is, and you're not calling the proper calls. I mean, there's just so many issues. So many issues. So many issues. But alas, this is just where we're at.
Yeah. I mean, this is where we're at. It's reality.
So I do say that's an issue. Recruiting wise, I haven't heard any issues with the recruits outside of what we saw. I still, and I mean, even with Howes, we'll see what happens.
Sure.
We will definitely see what happens, but recruiting wise, I mean, the Cats are locked in. Little bro Tristan Lewis has spoken several times. Said he's locked in. There's a lot of schools that are praying he opens his recruitment. I'm going to let you know that now. A lot of schools praying he open his. He is exactly who you think he is, man.
Yep, and we're doing another one too. There, Darius Gray, that 5-star offensive lineman. I mean, he said it multiple times. He reiterated tonight, actually, on Tristan Lewis' post. He said facts on the reply. The post that read, "Just because we are 3-4 right now, that doesn't mean nothing to me. I won't be going anywhere. I promise you that." With a salute emoji. Watch how we turn this thing around. Everybody stay on that side with a Spurs up. Hashtag Beamer Ball.
I'll tell y'all.
And then Darius Gray, 5-star offensive lineman Darius Gray, replied with facts onto that. So, and Q, we've said this many times. Obviously, game results do mean a thing sometimes, but in a lot of recruiting and a lot of players that we've had on this show, right? Donovan Murph, Lenore Sellers, obviously Jalen Kilgore. I mean, there's so many guys, Xavier Currents. I mean, all these guys that we've had on the show in the past, they've even said multiple times, look, these game results don't always matter to us because we are the future. We can make this better. And somehow that tends to get lost. That tends to get lost within the fan base. Because these players, they have a mindset. These recruits, they have a mindset that I can be that guy to come in and I can fill in that position and I can make this team great.
Amen. They know with the playing times open, with Tristan and Costco Barnes coming in, and all these guys know there's playing time galore right now. We just got to play. We just got to get through this storm. Yeah. You just got to get through this storm and get right. Yeah. But there's changes on the way. As far as this program is concerned, there's changes on the way. Now, can they right the ship and get to a bowl game and salvage the season? They have a chance to. There's every opportunity. You have an Alabama team coming in, riding high, might overlook you. I don't know. You have an Ole Miss team. That defense is banged up right now. They're begging to get to a bye week, and they're limping into a bye week. Mm-hmm. You do have a red hot Texas A&M team, but Arkansas had them on the ropes. You have opportunities. The key is, are you going to take advantage of opportunities? Are you going to get your offense right to where you're scoring points? Are you going to use Matthew Fuller like you're supposed to? Because it should be nobody but Matthew Fuller and Rashul Faison right now running the ball, and Lenore's. Yeah. You need to use your wide receivers the way they're open. They run the routes. You got to use them. Mm-hmm. You got to use them. So I think that's the key to this whole situation.
Yeah. So I do agree. And for the ones that are concerned about that, the tight end decommitment of Jamal House. Remember, Caden Ramsey from Cross High School is a dude, and he is committed to the Gamecocks for the
and
tight end
4-star
position
as well.
Yep, 4-star guy.
4-star as well.
Keep that in mind. That is somebody that has moved up in the ranks fairly quickly. A talent out across South Carolina. So not all is lost on that front.
Yes. I just want everybody to understand when it comes to the state of the program, change is coming. I think you just got to hold on. Let's see how this plays out. But change is coming.
Yeah, it's look, we're Gamecock fans. We're used to being patient, and it's just part of life with us. Honestly, it's not easy being a Gamecock fan. It never
Right.
has been, and never will be. But God, by God, that's not taken from me, and I'm never going to stop doing it.
There it is.
Just saying.
And
So,
there it is.
I will say, Q, there is some disappointing news though coming out of Williams-Brice Stadium, though, man. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently multiple sections are being moved because of this new construction that's coming out. I guess with the new sections or something's getting moved, and I've had to see where that goes. But I've seen some fans really
Mhm.
upset about that, and unfortunately, if you're one of the fans that are losing your seat, I hate it for you. I mean, I do. I mean, there's great spots all around the stadium, but if you've been sitting in those seats for years, which a lot of people have, it's not fun.
Right.
It's
I
not
mean, it
fun.
sucks, but I mean, when you're doing construction, especially what we're trying to do,
Yeah,
a lot of this makes sense. I'm not gonna sit here and flex like it doesn't. It does.
sure, sure. And I get that. I get that point too. But it change goes back to, man, change isn't always fun, and sometimes it
But
takes a
it's
while to get
inevitable.
used to things. But it is inevitable. That's a fact. That is a fact. 100%. 100%. Well, guys, we need to hop in and just kind of talk about where things are at with this football program right now. It's a tough
Hmm.
situation, but it's one of those things. Mama said there are going to be days like this, but
Yep.
let's hope these days don't turn into more weeks ahead. That's all I can say on that part.
Correct. Correct.
The basketball program tonight, we do need to bring this up, the men's and women's, held a really cool event that continued or
Hmm.
that had a 3-point contest, dunk contest, and all that fun stuff tonight. And apparently it was a really good turnout, man. The CLA turned itself out. They packed the place out, man, for the men's and women's event that went on tonight.
Think it's gonna be a good season, man. I mean, I know I haven't been able to talk yet about everything that's going on, but I I will say behind the scenes, it's been great to hear what's going on. This team is going to be very good. This
I,
team is going to be very good, and I think this team has a chance to make the tourney.
yep,
Um,
it's possible.
Health is always the biggest thing, but as long as we stay healthy, we will be all right. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I do agree. I mean, I do want to say, talking to staff, gonna put that this way, man. There's a newcomer, Mongolian Mike, Gamecock Shark, Mongolian Mike, Gamecock Shark, whatever you want to call him. Mike, I'm not gonna pronounce his last name because I don't want to butcher it yet. I'm gonna learn how to pronounce it before I say it on the air. But that's the guy to watch out for when it comes to being a leader on this team, and not just him, but Michi Johnson. I've been told that those two are really good leaders. And another thing, Q, uh, another thing that I want to bring up that said staff member told me, he said this is a very exciting group, and check this out. He said the closeness and the togetherness that they share right now is very reminiscent to that team from a couple years ago.
Yeah, amen, amen.
If you like, if you, I'm just saying, you got people have been pretty heavy on Lamont in the offseason, but watch out.
I think this team is going to be very special, and I think you also have young talent that's working to be leaders as well. With Eli, with Hayden,
Mm-hmm.
you have a shooter in Grant Polk. My
Oh,
God, you have a shooter in Grant Polk, bro.
thanks,
I
Trey
don't
Kelly.
think a lot of people like I don't think a lot of people understand like Grant Polk is really really good,
Yep.
really good shooter. A very
Yeah.
much a volume shooter. He is literally the definition of volume shooter. And when you have a guy like that, it's going to do nothing but enhance your team to the fullest, and that's where we're
Mm-hmm.
at right now. And I'm excited about that portion of it. So
Oh,
um, that freshman class is going to be good. They're going to get some good playing time. There's going to be some good minutes. I think that's going to be the beauty of this team this year.
yeah. I
That's what
do.
I personally feel.
I do agree. And the women's side of things, they got a lot of love. The first team AP, I believe
Mm-hmm.
Tanaya Latson, the newcomer for South Carolina, was on that. So
Mm-hmm.
not a surprise there. I don't understand how it was second team for her in the SEC, but I guess they just had some hard feelings for her in the SEC. I don't know, but
Yeah,
um,
I ain't shocked there.
It's pretty. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, great stuff there, man. I think it's going to be really good for both. And then Waka Flocka, of course, was in the building tonight. Honorary Gamecock. If you know, you know. Just like I said, super nice guy, and he was in the building tonight, and they put on a great show out there. So the vibes are high. The vibes are high. It was a great turnout tonight, and I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to know things are going like with that. And then, of course, fall baseball has officially started. Fall baseball has officially
Fire
started.
Paul. Fire Paul. Fire Paul.
Can we get through the fall first?
No.
Get through the fall.
No. I stand 10 toes on that. Fire Paul. Man, it's terrible.
I can't.
God awful.
Look, I can't. I can't disagree. Obviously. I hope to hear better things in the off season. I hope to hear better things in the background this year than what we heard.
Hey man, Fire Paul
all season
bro.
last year.
Fire Paul. I can't wait for y'all to get on the bandwagon with me. That dude's a disgrace.
Q said once we start losing again in baseball, he's holding a protest that's going to go straight down Ray Tanner Boulevard and get everybody involved.
My protest going to definitely live. It's going to live on because what he showed last year was ridiculous. But my girl Ashley, you keep grinding. We're proud of you.
Oh yeah, they beat
Ashley could lose every game this year, and I'm still going to be proud of her for showing up.
Yeah,
that recruiting class she got, my God.
Yeah. That team is going to be on a wrecking ball. Yeah, they're going to be a wrecking ball this year.
And she is geared to win. She's ready to win now.
Mm-hmm.
1 out away from the College World Series. I mean, and that was her first year too.
It was.
Yeah, dog. You can't tell me we ain't gonna get to the Natty. You can't tell me.
I can see it, man. I definitely see the World Series this year for the women, and I just they brought so much back. I mean, they're an absolute juggernaut this year. So definitely not gonna sneak up on anybody this year, though. I'll tell you that one too. The teams are gonna be ready for them. So that's part of the game, man. And thankfully, I'll be covering them this year, which I'm excited to do. It'll be the first time covering the softball program, so excited to do that. Be it out there, and it's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a good time.
Correct.
Well, that's it. Well, Q, you have anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
No, I just want everybody to understand that's where I'm at. I mean, I was not happy with what I saw. I just not happy with what I saw with the coaching. Against Oklahoma these past few weeks. I have not been happy about it. But I do know change is coming. I can't say in what capacity, but I do know change is coming. So keep your head up, Gamecock Nation. And I believe Thursday I'll be traveling, but I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get a breakdown at some point of what Alabama's going to look like and get that going for you guys.
Yeah.
So.
As I will be traveling as well. Gotta love work, man. That's the thing about it, Q. We don't do this thing as full time. This is always been a hobby of ours, and we've got a real job outside of this thing, man. So obviously you'll never get the clickbait BS from us. We're gonna tell you how it is, and even if we ever find a way of doing this thing full time, it's still gonna be the same old Welcome Home podcast as you know it.
Yep.
So.
Y'all never get. Y'all know I'm not sugarcoating nothing. I don't sugarcoat it in them spaces. I don't sugarcoat it none of those other times. Won't be doing it now.
That's it, man. Well, guys, appreciate y'all tuning in the Welcome Home podcast on Facebook, X, YouTube, all those fun places to watch us live. Appreciate y'all listening to the replays of the Welcome Home podcast on Apple and Spotify. Guys, we will see you next time.